Hi, Mary.
Hi, Glenn. You put your boat up for the season yet?
We have not. I usually don't do it until about Thanksgiving.
Oh my, so you'll go out in October, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we have full canvas that goes around the boat, so it's completely enclosed.
Nice, because then I can't imagine how beautiful the autumn must be on the river.
Oh, I know. I can't. We haven't been down there. Debbie's been dealing with her mom for 17 days now.
What's the status with her mom?
She's back home. She got home a week ago yesterday. So today is her 8th day home. And sometimes she'll get better and then she kind of slips back a little bit. She's fighting some infections right now. The home health nurse was there. She took some blood samples and sent them in, and they prescribed another antibiotic for her. So
Does she live alone?
Well, her husband passed away in April. Debbie's dad passed away April 2nd. And so she's been alone since then. And she's just not capable of maintaining the household. It's really tough for her. She's physically disabled. And she's 84, and so yeah, it's been tough. So Debbie's been down there just about doing everything for her.
Where does she live?
It's about 25 miles south of Potosi.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
No. So I drive down there, 2 or 3 times a week and help Debbie when I can. And so yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot.
Yeah, I talked to Debbie, I think last week, and she said it was difficult. She was having, it's just, she said her brother came in town.
Yeah,
was somewhat helpful.
But yeah, to some extent, but she still doesn't want her adult son tending to certain needs.
Which I understand. Yeah, but it makes it hard on Debbie,
Which makes it hard on Debbie. But we've done some things. We've gotten some things to help. I found a hospital bed that we brought in, and a Hoya lift. It's like a swing.
Lift, yeah.
So we can pick her up out of bed, and we got her a chair that stands her up so she can transfer out of that a little bit easier.
That's good.
She will not go to a facility, a nursing home. She's just not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Debbie said they had her talked into a rehab at one point, but then she said like it didn't happen, and she was having.
Well, when she found out that rehab looks like a hospital room, she wanted no part of it.
That woman's got a lot of personality.
Oh my gosh. I'm the only one that can reason with her. That's
what Debbie said, that like she can say it and it's just goes right in one ear and out the other, but if you say it, it's like gold.
Yeah, I don't know how I do it, but it works.
Who cares? As long as it works, that's all that matters. So is she out there like she's not coming home? Debbie, she's just staying out there all the time.
Debbie's just staying there. She hasn't been in the house now for 17 days.
Oh my gosh.
10 days she stayed in the hospital with her, slept on a chair.
She said she didn't want to be alone, and she felt bad because Jerry was always there with her. So
yeah,
I'm like, you're a much nicer daughter than I am. Like, my back hurts. I can do this. But that woman's got patience of a saint. I will say that. So
yeah.
I'm glad she has the time to spend with her mom, that she's able to give that attention to her when she needs it, because it would have been impossible for her to do, work and be down there. She just couldn't have done
Right.
it. And,
Right.
gosh. So is she stable, or is she getting better, or like, is this just kind of like,
Well, right now, they just found out that she's fighting a UTI. And so prior to that, well, she had COVID. And just kidneys were shutting down, and she was starting to get sepsis, and
when it rains, it pours?
but but I mean, she's actually doing a little bit better. I mean, she's eating well, and
Can she feed herself?
yeah. She can't prepare anything, but I mean, we just roll her up to the table and give her a plate, and off she goes.
Well, that's good.
She's a piece of work.
How long is Debbie's brother in town?
That is to be determined. I don't think he has a return flight as of yet. He's retired also.
That makes it.
But
nice.
he's got a household in California and a wife and a life, and so
Well, so does Debbie.
so does Debbie.
Debbie does it all the time. She's a
Yeah,
superwoman.
it's wearing on her. It's wearing
sure.
on her horribly.
Oh, when I talked to her, she was fine. Like she wasn't
Yeah.
distraught or anything, but like I could just tell she was frazzled. She sounded worn out.
Yeah.
And I think that was the day when I talked to her was the first time that she hadn't slept in the hospital. Like she had gone to her mom's to get some sleep, and it was like in shower or something.
Right.
It's just draining. The
Yeah.
hospital is always draining. So, my grandma is kind of like sickly. Like there's nothing like major wrong with her, but it's always something. And she gets those UTIs all the time. Then they'll give her antibiotics. Then she has it it's just like a cyclical issue that like her kidneys aren't working right or something. And so she keeps getting these infections, and that kind of sounds like what's happening for Deb. But well, I hope she gets a relief soon.
Yeah.
You take her on the boat.
I brought her tequila a few days ago. So
She's feeling a little bit better, a little warmer anyway.
yeah. And at least we got our trip to New Orleans in
Yes. Yeah.
before everything went down. And
yeah. It's just that season in life, taking care of elderly parents, and it's sad. It's just hard.
I've still got 2 at home.
So you'll get to do this for a long time.
My dad will be 100 on April 22nd.
Wow, that's awesome.
And my mom is 97.
Wow, that's impressive. And they're healthy?
They're independent. They live in their own. They got a little condo out in St. Peter's, and yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
Well, you got some good genetics, Glenn.
I don't know if I want them though.
They live forever.
Now, my dad's just happy as a clam. He gets out. I mean, he can walk to the mailbox and walk to the trash dumpster and takes care of mom. And
Well, that's the deal. They depend on each other, and now that your mother-in-law's lost that partner, she's probably
exactly, and that's what's really hard on her.
So
Where-
apparently one of the guys we interviewed for city admin is on to watch the meeting, which is fine. Hold on, I got Frank calling me. Something might be going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello?
I'm kind of wondering where everybody is.
Okay, they're having a problem getting in the meeting. Hold on.
Oh, it's 7:04.
Right.
I hit the link and hooked right up.
Me too.
Same here.
Rob is,
There
yeah,
we go.
here's Rob, yeah.
Cindy,
My apologies. I think that was my fault because my screen did something funky and they were all in the waiting room.
Oh, that's fine.
No
I
problem.
think Frank's out there still too.
There he is.
Did we find him?
Yeah, I see.
There, he's coming on.
Wow, we had two. Okay, I see. There he is.
All right.
I don't know if we have a quorum.
Yeah, we do. You've
Do
got
we? Oh, I
Glenn
see.
next
now.
to you, and then
I-
Mary and Bob
You're
and
fine.
Cindy
I
and
can't count. I got confused.
and Galen. Man, we got more than a quorum. Somebody can leave.
I'm gone.
Okay. Don't goad us. We will
Yeah,
leave.
Not that easy. We'll sign everything to you for tonight.
Ah, yeah. That
That's-
seems like that's happening at work as well. I've just been, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Running
that's
like a
what you
nut.
get to do now. So
Yeah.
let's see here. Let me share my screen out and get that going for everybody. All right, can you all see the screen? Okay.
Yeah.
We can.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, like to call the City of Burns Mill regular BOA meeting for October 5th, 2022 to order. First item on our agenda has been completed, so we'll move on to item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody, please follow me. I pledge allegiance.
Pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
Republic for which it stands,
Republic for which it
one
stands,
nation under God,
under God.
indivisible,
liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you very much. And we'll come back over to the agenda, and next item we have up here is roll call. So Glenn LaVenture,
Here,
Mary Shebley,
Here,
Cindy Davies,
Here,
Prado,
Here.
Galen Harrison,
Here.
and Robin Harris did text me. She's not available. She's got family issues she's working with, so she's excused.
Okay.
All right, moving on to item number 4. Is there anything we need to amend, or can we approve the agenda as submitted?
I just had one question on the minutes.
Okay, this is on the agenda. You gotta wait. So,
Oh, no, I don't have any questions on the agenda.
okay, then can I get a motion, please, to approve the agenda as submitted?
I'll
Make
make
a
a motion to approve the agenda. as submitted.
second,
Cindy,
aye,
Bob,
I'm not seeing the agenda. Was I even here?
this is the agenda for tonight. Can you see my screen?
I can. But you're talking about approving, oh, the agenda for tonight.
Tonight's agenda, yes.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm brain dead.
That's right.
aye.
Here it is again.
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
I'm actually looking, well, never mind. I'm thinking of minutes because I'm looking at the
Yep,
minutes.
well,
So,
we'll get to that because Mary.
yeah, I know. Sorry.
Blame Mary. Yeah, okay, Galen,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes,
and Mary.
Aye.
All right, now moving on to item 5, amending and approving the minutes from the board meeting of 9/21 of 2022. Mary?
So the only question I had, can you go to the minutes?
Slowly. You got- Okay, where would you like me to go to the minutes?
Scroll down to the public forum. There. Above that line, it says the regular meeting adjourned at approximately 6:41 PM. And I'm not sure what that means.
Actually, yeah, that was the actual public hearing,
Yeah,
tax levy. So that's the one that adjourned.
So the public hearing adjourned at that time.
Right.
Then we started the regular meeting.
we
No,
started the
then we
next
started-
special meeting. Yep.
Right.
I'll make those changes. I need to change it to the public. I
Yeah,
see
and
what you're
that-
saying.
And the
Yes,
same there too.
okay, will do.
Okay, it just makes more sense.
Okay.
There you go.
Then
That's
we
all.
started the room. Okay.
Anybody else?
I'm glad
Nope.
you're paying attention to the minutes very well. Very good job, Mary. We'll bury
That's my-
something in the next minutes.
That's my homework. Okay,
Oh, don't worry, we have homework for you tonight, so you know,
Oh, great.
yeah.
Well, I would, if there are no other corrections, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of 9:21.
I'll
I
second.
second.
Mary,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Galen,
Aye.
Bob,
Abstain.
and Cindy.
Aye.
All right, now moving on to city warrants and financials. So we have two warrant lists. First warrant list we're going to review is for 9/22 of 2022. So let me go down to that one. And Amy, these look a lot more readable in this format. So let me shrink this down a little bit here.
The first one is the old format. The second
Okay.
one is the new format.
Right,
Yeah, the
so-
second one's awesome.
Yeah, the second one is awesome.
Yep. So this is for a total of $5,214.59.
I'll move to approve warrants in that amount, $5,214.69.
I second.
Yeah, so that 40-gallon water heater, that's at City Hall.
Yes, yeah, Frank and I discussed that. That one was, Bob was out and they went out and they need a new water heater. This is a 3-phase water heater. It's not just a standard household water heater,
Mhm.
for whatever reason. I had no idea why that's there, but that's in place. So we had to replace it with time.
You know, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, it does.
It should be efficient though, that's for sure.
Sure.
Well, Frank and I discussed it and I told him to go ahead with it. You have to have hot water. You have to be.
Oh,
sanitary.
sure. Yeah.
But they could have put in a single phase.
They probably could have, but once again, then probably would have required an electrician besides a plumber. So.
You just wired a little bit different.
Exactly. So. Anyhow, can any other questions on the?
Nope.
Can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the warrants for September 22nd, 2022 in the amount of $5,214.59.
Second.
Second. Yes.
Okay, Cindy,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Galen,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
and Cindy.
Aye.
Okay, or Mary, I'm sorry.
Aye.
All right, now we'll go on to the next warrant list for Bob. It looks like you were trying to read them, so let me see if I.
I was.
Yeah, there. How about
Thank
that?
you.
Look at that.
Yeah.
A lot easier.
So this is the warrant list for
Yes.
September 30th, 2022.
So I need to know what the top two are.
Right.
My question is, what's the Treasury and the Iliac?
Okay, so I believe that these are payroll taxes that we're paying, and Amy, is this the one where they're being auto debited?
Yes, those
Okay.
two, I'm not 100% sure because they're automatically withdrawn out of the bank account. And I'm almost positive that the first one is the payroll taxes. And the second one is BOA, which is our retirement.
And we'll talk a little bit more about the finances and the logistics of that in closed session, but we're working on getting that in a clearer format, but that's what we believe they are.
And this is just for monthly payroll or bi-monthly payroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
The current payroll, 2 weeks.
I'm just
Okay.
surprised we didn't see this type of entry previous on the
Right.
reports. I don't recall seeing that, so maybe it was coming out in different format or not.
Yeah, I think it was all combined together as a benefit or something like that.
Yes, yeah, it might have not been in our QuickBooks warrant list. This is a more comprehensive list, as
Yeah,
Allison
yeah.
said. We'll discuss it a little further and close to go over details on that.
If there are no questions, I'll make a motion to approve warrants in the amount of $18,390.37.
Second.
Mary,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Galen,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
and Cindy.
Aye.
I do want to know the story behind the golf ball dent, though.
Yeah, Frank, are you golfing nowadays?
No, but apparently somebody is on Joe Drive.
on Joe Drive. My heavens.
Wow.
So I've moved the older car in front, and we may eventually need to get about a 16-foot section of privacy fence put up on the side of the cars.
Wow.
Is it deliberate? You
Yeah.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody down there who won't name names or anything, saying that somebody's driving golf balls up this way to damage our building or cars if they can.
Wow. Wow.
And are we able to, with our, we don't have our newfangled cameras in yet, so.
Now I'm waiting. I got another email today, so they're trying to get stuff scheduled, but
Okay.
we're not going to see who's on Joe Drive through the trees doing this. That's the problem.
All righty.
Yep.
I'll keep an eye out and hopefully they don't damage the building and get a ball over towards the windows.
Well, I was hoping it was a humorous story, but it's not.
No. All right, let me and somehow get this back to our previous format. I can only go this way, so hang on. All right, so now, there we go. Now moving on to item number 7, recognitions and proclamations. We have item A, city received money through Murma's grant program. And I see Jeff is going to speak briefly to us. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, how you guys doing this evening?
Very good. Very good.
Good.
Thank you for joining.
Awesome, thanks for the invite. I just recap of what's going on here. Murma's got a grant program available to our members where we help fund up to 75% of the cost of certain pieces of equipment that the city's identified a need for, and also fits within our mission statement. This grant program this year, we received 5 different applications from the city. They are as follows, and the committee just met and they approved these amounts. Less lethal gun and rounds for $504.71. A dash cam for $3,375. A flammable storage cabinet to be used down at the Public Works for $999.75. Work zone barricades, again, for Public Works when they're working in the right of way and in the roadways. $677.21. And tire deflation device for $386.25. In total, $5,942.92 was earned for you guys towards this program.
Very nice.
So
Yeah,
I'd like
thank
to-
you.
I'd like to
Outstanding.
thank the chief and Rob and whoever else assisted in putting these applications together and getting this money over to you folks. The rules of engagement is as follows. To get your money from us, you got to buy these items. It's a reimbursement cost. I need a copy of the check. I need a copy of the invoice, and email me some kind of statement letting me know these items have been purchased and used. And you've got till June of next year to do all this. And Amy, if you got more questions about it, you can call me, email me anytime in this winter, this fall. You got plenty of time to get this done.
Okay, thank you. You know we will.
Yeah.
And we'll try to get this done sooner than later. So
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for making these available.
yes.
No, all I did was is provide the information. The department here, department heads did all the work. So I'd like to thank them for taking the time to fill out the applications and doing the research.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's any questions about that program or anything else I can assist you with this evening?
When's your next round come up?
We do this every year.
Every year? Okay.
Yeah. So about this time every year, you're gonna, as long as you turn in applications, they get approved, you'll see me about this time every year.
Okay. You don't, on your grant program, you don't have golf ball screens, do you?
Well, no, we don't. But
Okay.
there's a lot more.
And yes.
There's a lot more items on this matrix that can be taken advantage of. So I'll be sharing that with Amy in my next few visits over, so she gets caught up with what's available through this program. So
That'd be great. That'd be very nice. So yeah, we would
Awesome.
certainly like to take advantage of that. And
yes, I would.
we appreciate your help on that. So thank
All
you,
right,
Jeff.
you guys have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
See you.
Okay, now moving on, let's see here. What do we got? Next item up is the old business item A, bids on IT support from two companies. We got
Rob, I just sent you the side by side in the email, just so you know.
Peter St.
Okay.
Louis and ThrottleNet. We had an opportunity today to meet with ThrottleNet. They're another local support company. They work with government agencies. I believe they stated they work with Wildwood and the city of Crestwood. So they're familiar in the same arena as Compute St. Louis. So Amy, you sent me two different documents here. Are they both the same or?
No, so the first one is just the pricing on each company, only the pricing page. And
Okay.
then the second one is just the very simple breakdown of what it's basically going to cost us.
Okay, so
Because, go ahead.
yeah, so here, this is the ThrottleNet and this is the Compute St. Louis page. So instead of trying to dig through those, let me pull up your other document you said, which is a side-by-side pricing guide that sort of throws that together for us. So we can certainly share these with you guys at a later point in time, like later tonight and that. But so they're very similar in their startup cost. They're less than $100 apart, and then the ongoing monthly care and feeding cost with Compute St. Louis is $3,000 a month, and with ThrottleNet is $3,683 a month. The one difference I believe that we saw with ThrottleNet, they're including their Wi-Fi. They've got Wi-Fi access points included in their bid. I don't believe that was in the Compute St. Louis bid. And the ThrottleNet doesn't require a commitment. The Compute St. Louis requires at least a 3-year to 5-year commitment. And the price will go down a little bit at that point. So we really need to do something here. And we need to, and besides just needing to do something here, this is going to affect our MIRMA and our ability to receive the MIRMA discounts, because ThrottleNet specifically, they did a comprehensive dark web page study to see what potential, issues that we had out there with the compromised passwords and that, and they did illustrate a few things that had happened. I don't think there's anything too current to be concerned with, but it's something like that that is going to satisfy the MIRMA requirements and other financial institution requirements as well, to show that we're taking care of doing the right internet and security for our data and our files, and handling emails right, so we don't have potential, spoofing of email and sending stuff out from a third-party account, something like that. So, Amy, do you have any comments? You sat in on the meeting too.
Yes, I think it's very important, especially with all the fraud that we're having in the bank account and the extreme moves that we had to do to open up a new one and close that one. ThrottleNet was kind enough to let us know that they've done some kind of a search and said, at some point we were breached. But I mean, like, I'm sure everybody is, but so they would be able to protect us on that going forward, which is something that we really do need.
And the other thing I'll mention about ThrottleNet too is in their proposal, they had a backup solution that was very robust. So the appliance that they're putting in for backing up, this includes the file server. So we'd have the file server locally. So, and it's 7.2 terabytes a disk that's expandable to probably about 25 terabytes. So it's got some good capacity, because I'm concerned with what Frank's got there with the dash cam videos and the body cam videos. That's only going to increase in size as the data quality or the recording quality gets better on all these devices. So that imagery tends to chew up more and more space. We cannot send that footage directly out to the cloud. It'll just clog up our internet service to the point where nobody will be able to do anything else that requires any access outside of the building. So this device that they have is a local item that'll back the data will stay there, and then it can then transmit that data out to the cloud, and it makes it much more livable for us there. They also offered to look into our internet service. Bob Prado, I know you've mentioned before that we're sort of stuck with what we've got there because there's nobody else to supply service, but they even felt that they had contracts and leverage with Spectrum that they might be able to get us a better pricing and better bandwidth just through membership with them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we can go up to 400 meg. I don't know what we're at now. I think it's 200.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
with Spectrum, but they do have offerings above that for commercial users.
Right, and but what they Chris from Thought on It was saying is that they've already got agreements in place for their customers that they can leverage for us to potentially help with that, and we may be able to upgrade those modems to the higher bandwidth at little to no cost. So we don't know, you know, that's just in discussion. So I really think at this point, we need to make some type of decision. If the board would like, we could send both of these packets out and you could look through them, and then potentially we could do an email vote on these on Friday or Monday, but we really need to get something in place. So we, you know, Amy and team have been trying to do the best they can there, but they'll be able to come in. The way the computers are set up there is sort of goofy too, in a work group mode, and it just, you know, they need individual domain accounts to log in with. That way, some accountability. You can tell who's doing what, and you get some individuality, and you can have then some individual OneDrive space to store your data in versus just a shared type of approach that they had with the way the system was set up before.
So
sorry.
I'm
So right now on the police side, the police officers, they come in and they're kind of sharing like 1 or 2 computers, and they don't have their own individual logins, which is creating issues too. So these IT companies will be able to set that up appropriately, because that just takes time. It's above my head. But then they won't have, because they kind of struggle with sharing a computer. It wouldn't be so bad if they had their own, you know, login. It would make them more efficient too.
right. I have no problem with you guys picking one, because I'm not computer literate. I'll be the first to tell you.
And
You guys who use it all the time, pick one.
I believe we can use ARPA funding for this as well. So Allison, is that accurate?
Yeah, we can use ARPA funding for infrastructure. And this is certainly infrastructure. So I don't know if all of our ARPA funding has already been delegated, but yeah, this is an ARPA funding.
Yeah. Well, we had ARPA funding allocated for the new city management software that we're looking at, that now we're sort of backpedaling on, because they said it would take 18 to 24 months for implementation. So we've got to do something with that money. We don't, so with ARPA, you've got to use it or lose it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that, yeah. And we still do need software, but,
Yes,
but we can, you know, if we use ARPA funding for this and then we use reserve for that, it doesn't matter, you know, which way both of those are covered, but the software still needs to be done, but we can't get the software till we get the IT fixed.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So don't take it that if we do either one of these, we wouldn't need the different, I'll call it ERP, enterprise reporting type platform that we'd bring in. We still need something, but we may not need everything that they're offering. I don't know. It's hard to say at this point, but I really think we need to do this just to sort of safeguard our city. We've got ARPA stuff coming up in by the end of the year, or not ARPA, but MIRMA requirements by the end of the year, first part of January, that we have to meet. So this would help with that. And once again, we need to, as Jeff explained at the last board meeting, we need to hopefully be above 90 to receive and potentially receive some rebate from ARPA, but at least not to have to pay into anything. So
what does the city, Amy Jo, which one do you have a preference for?
I would be great. We would be grateful for either one, but after sitting in today with ThrottleNet, I think Monica and myself and Rob were kind of going more towards ThrottleNet. I like that they don't have the commitment, 3 to 5 years. It is a little bit more, but I do think that we'll need all the works at first, but once we get established and start understanding, a little bit how it works better, I think we can go down on that price a little bit monthly.
So I'm kind of leaning towards ThrottleNet as well. And I'm sorry I couldn't make the meeting today, but I've noticed that it's got a 3-year commitment on the backup and disaster recovery solution now.
Right, and we may not even do that.
But we own it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do own it though. I think that's why.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
that's,
Go on, Gail.
but that backup and disaster recovery solution is the majority of the monthly charge.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
what's the 3-year commitment? I mean, that's what I'm wondering about. I mean, I'm not worried about a 3-year commitment anyway, because,
Yeah, we need something to get off to. But
right,
But yeah, this backup solution, I'm not familiar with that. I've not heard of that, but they claim it's something that'll run if the local file server fails, you can utilize that. And then it just does incremental data updates out to the cloud after the first full data transfer occurs for the backup, so. but
yeah,
still,
I noticed that they're not charging us for the hardware, they're just charging us for the monthly service on it.
Right.
One
Well,
thing that ThrottleNet did do that was, after we met with them, they went over to the police department side, and I'm not gonna say it right, because I mean, I don't know, it's above my head, but the police department was getting ready to run out of room for the police video. So he immediately went back to his office. He emailed us what we need to order, and I ordered it immediately from Amazon and had it delivered within a couple days and had it over there so that they would not run out of video for their police videos, which was something he did not have to do. And then they did follow back up and send a little package of goodies for everybody here. So I mean, I just thought that was nice that they went out of their way to make sure that,
And
you know,
what they were,
regardless.
what Amy's talking about there, the Synology drive that we had placed in there last year, one of the drives had failed and it was beeping. And nobody had noticed it was making noise, and they looked at it, and Greg Kraft was able to get him logged into the web interface, and it showed one of the 3 drives, because it's a 4-drive unit with a RAID 5 array. So there's a hot swap, so that's why it didn't fail, but we need to replace the 3rd drive, so.
Well, Frank had noticed it was beeping, so.
But nobody had said anything more, so.
I know.
So that's great that you knew it was beeping, but we really need
Something to be done.
Anyway, I've worked with companies that have used ThrottleNet, and I've heard nothing but good from them. Their biggest asset is the fact that when you call them, you get somebody within, a minute or 2
Yeah.
versus 3 or 4 hours. And I'm not saying that, Computer St. Louis doesn't do the same thing. I just don't know their turnaround time, but I do know ThrottleNet, and I've of the companies that I've dealt with that have used them, most of them, I can think of 3 that they're crazy. They would think you're crazy if you wanted them to move someplace else. So.
So do you need a motion for us to approve ThrottleNet bid? Because I think we've talked this enough.
Yeah, I would think I'd like to get that if we could, so.
So I'll move to accept the bid for ThrottleNet so we can get the computers going in our system.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Okay, Bob,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Galen,
Aye,
and Mary.
All right.
Very good.
yay.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, and thank
That's a
you.
weight off the shoulders.
Yeah, well, they seem very eager to get in. They said once we get this agreement signed, it kicks off at the beginning of the month, but I'm sure they'll want to try to engage early. They seem that, they're local too. They're right down at what is it? Right east of West Watson and on Gravois, across from the church there.
Oh, I saw the signs. Yeah, they're right down Highway 30.
Yeah. And their owner lives up on High Ridge, I believe. So I mean, they're very close, and he said they have technicians that live right out in the area here. So they'd, it'd be an area that they'd be able to get to relatively quickly if we needed, on-site support.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
moving on. Item number 9, we have new business. We have a park pavilion rental application for a memorial on October 8th, 2022, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And they're requesting alcohol. Let me go down to that. Is that in the packet? I take it?
No, I didn't see it in there.
It's not in the packet.
And
I
I didn't
didn't
think
put
we
it in
were,
there just because of the information. I didn't know if I should put it publicly, who it was.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine to put it out there.
and I thought we discussed that we weren't going to
bring them up in
This was-
meeting.
Bring them
Yeah,
up at a
these were-
board
these-
meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, this was more of an administrative thing than,
We said that if there was no alcohol involved, if there's alcohol involved, we decided to bring it to the board, but,
Yeah.
whatever you guys want to do, I don't have to.
Can I address this for a second?
sure, Frank.
And I, this may be something that I'm not trying to bring Allison into this, but we may. Do we have to put on their alcohol use or not? If we say, allowing them to use alcohol, and there's an accident over there, is just, can the city be held partly liable for allowing them to have that over there? I mean, I'm not gonna be over there checking unless there's a problem, and if there's a problem, we can address it. If we can put some kind of disclaimer on that form, but I'm just concerned, and again, maybe it's an Allison thing, not me, that if we allow say, yeah, you can have alcohol, and there's an accident over there, are we responsible in any way?
So, I mean, I don't know that we would have much liability. I expect we have like an umbrella policy of some kind on the pavilion, if not, we should. I don't know that if we don't ask and they just bring it, we just don't know. And that's probably less liability than like us voting on the use of alcohol, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the application is just giving us notification whether alcohol is being used.
Right.
Right.
And that would be my position versus them applying, because they're not applying to use alcohol, they're applying to use the pavilion.
Right.
The way that the
Yeah.
application reads, it kind of reads like they are, but I guess you could take it both ways, but we'll just remove it so there's no confusion.
well, does the park allow alcohol in general?
Yeah, if somebody used the pavilion without a reservation, it was vacant and they pulled down there with their family and had a cooler and decided to grill and
Mhm. And what about the
Right.
other areas of the park? Like the playground area and things of that sort?
I don't think I've seen anything expressly saying you can't. I mean,
Yeah, I've not seen
So-
anything either.
Yeah, so
done.
if that's the case, then there really doesn't need to be a special permission.
Right.
I thought, the rules of the park was no alcohol, no fireworks.
well, the
Those
no
are-
fireworks is a city thing, it's citywide, or it was a citywide thing.
Right.
Sunset to sundown, I don't know.
The use of it is sunset to sundown is shut down. That's pretty well keeps people at least out of the lower section. But
Well,
the people,
But if there's
it-
rules, yeah, if there's
Yeah.
rules in the park that there's no alcohol in the park,
Yeah,
then
right,
you're gonna
yeah.
have to specifically request alcohol.
Yeah, that's why I think we did that. I think there's no alcohol allowed at the park, but we could check. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is.
Either way, though, if they're marking it on the permit and they've got a permit to use that area, we can make an administrative decision that they're allowed to have alcohol.
Yeah.
So just
True.
by them like telling us it's gonna be there, like I said, I don't think we need to have a special vote on it. But
No.
if you guys are comfortable making it an administrative function, we'll just do that.
Well,
should we-
yeah, just put a checkbox on it, alcohol being used,
being
check.
present, maybe being present. No, don't even
Yeah.
say use. So is alcohol
Yeah,
going to
be
be present?
Yeah.
That way you're not necessarily condoning the use of it. You're just saying, yeah, it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, I guess we still have to approve this, if we can. Or do we just want to fill this administrative task and not even have approval?
Yeah,
That's
I
what
wouldn't,
would do.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, then moving on to item 10, legislation unfinished. We don't have anything there. Legislation new, Allison, I don't believe we have anything there either. Okay. All right, then moving on to item number 12, administrator's report. Allison, you're the stand-in administrator.
So, yeah. So just as an FYI, Craneworks permit was issued, so they should be getting that building built in the near future, which they're gonna use to store cranes and sell those cranes, which will generate sales tax revenue for us. So we're excited about that.
Thank you very much for getting that done. What did
Yes.
they are going to tie on to the sewer system somehow?
Yes, they have a sewer line ran. The delay was that the plans didn't designate where the sewer line would be. That's been resolved. The county's approved it. So everything's good in that front. So that got done and we're moving forward with that.
Very good.
The permit process, we are working on getting that kind of streamlined with a master file Mary Ann is just part-time, which is fine, but that creates a little bit of gap in our communication. And one of the things we're gonna do in the short term, something that's happening is people are going online to fill out their permit applications, but not submitting all of the paperwork, and they're just paying the permit fee and then assuming that it's moving through the process, and it's just creating confusion among the staff. And at this point, I just don't feel like we are in a place administratively to handle that online application as well. So we are going to remove the ability for them to apply online and instead make it where they will schedule an appointment to come meet with staff. So that way we have a little more control over the information they're getting. We can sit down and explain things. It's also like positive interaction with the community, which is, you know, good for building those relationships. We do want to go back online at some point, but we need to revamp our system. So that's something we're working on getting under control. We also hired a new code enforcement and inspector. His name is Dan. His first day is the 11th. So he's going to be coming in. We're excited. That's going to take a lot of stress off of Bob and Frank with the code enforcement. So we are looking forward to him coming on board.
Hey,
Also,
Allison, can I jump in here? One thing on the permit process too. That is a hot topic, and I've gotten a few emails from different city residents and different individuals in the community trying to do things here on a wide variety of scales and fussing about the permit process. So that's another reason why we need to sort of pull back on this. You know, it just clearly we need to. We can do it electronically, but we just got to get it all down pat and organized a little bit better before we go back in that fashion. So it's difficult. You come in with a big set of plans, you need to be able to see them. To scan those in is kind of hard, and then look on them on a screen. So with figuring with the new Dan coming in, we can sort of tag on him a little bit too to help with this, and he may know something or be able to learn something for us.
yeah, and I'm hoping they'll be back up and running by the first of the year. But we just need to get our process down and make sure that more than one person in the office understands the process. So that way, when Mary Ann is out, we don't have to wait for her to come back, or because she'll say like, I'll check my voicemails and that's fine, but she may not check her email. And that's where that online stuff is going and getting lost. And we're just not keeping good track of it. So this is going to provide a better opportunity for us to serve the community. And like I said, we hope to move forward back with doing it online, but we need to get ourselves organized before we can do that. And then the last thing I have for open session is that we completed some interviews for city admin, and we'll talk about more of that specifics in closed sessions. But Rob, Frank, Amy, and I sat in on those interviews, as well as Andy from Peebly. And we had a lot of applicants. We had some good people in the pool. So I'm looking forward to moving that process along. And something that you're going to start seeing in your emails, other city admins do this. One of the guys we interviewed suggested it, and I actually just kind of forgot about it, but we're going to start sending you out a top 5 on Fridays. It's just going to be like, this is what's going on in the city to keep you kind of up to date. And hopefully, you know, you'll feel a little more in the loop. Like, you know, some of these things where we're like, well, how will we know if there's a permit, or how will we know if there's an application? Those are the sorts of things I can put in the top 5, shoot you guys an email. You'll all get the same one. If you got questions, you know, you can get back with me. But I think this is another way to, you know, bridge the gap between staff and the board, and also keep you guys informed. And it's quick and it's easy. So that's something we're going to start working on and get that done as well. So that's all I've got for the administrator report.
Great. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Allison. And that's a great idea. I think that'll help communication wise to be between everybody, and we were all on the same page of what's going on. Like you say, then if you have questions, so if you do have questions on those, please, when you reply, do a reply all, so everybody sees the question going back to. Don't just hit reply to Allison or to Amy Jo or something like that. So it's just a good thorough communication process. All right, moving on to item 13 here, department head reports. Bob, you want to go first?
Sure. One thing I got going right now, we're working on installing a video screen on city and the admin in the courtroom, I should say. It'll probably be done next week, sometime late. And then Frank's Road, I had the contractor come in and try to give me some prices. He won't be able to give me prices for about another month, so we'll probably run that through the board and then probably try to do that next April when the weather gets better again. That's all I have right now.
Hey, Bob, do you have any contact with the Water District 6? I had a couple people up at the National
yeah,
Night
sure.
Out last night ask about the road, and you know, the other people have been fussing about the road, and it's still got gravel on it up there where they cut through it to run the main.
They told me the past 3 weeks they were supposed to be patching it. He told me today he was going to be patching it tomorrow, so we'll see where that goes. I'm sorry. I got
That's okay. I'm just concerned it's getting colder out, and then they'll use the excuse that the asphalt company's all shut down.
right. They gave us a schedule of timeline when they were going to do that, and they were still within their timeline. So
Okay.
I've been
Alright.
trying to.
Yeah, but just like say a couple other people asked about it, and I said we're trying to get them to do it, but they seem to be stalling. But I guess if they run out on the asphalt approach, they'll have to do concrete, quick set type concrete.
Right.
So okay, very good, thank you. Moving on to Frank.
You hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
First, obviously, National Night Out last night. I appreciate all of you that attended. I had a lot of people say it was the biggest one yet. We had some pretty neat stuff going on. The fire departments, Cedar Hill and High Ridge, use their jaws of life to do a demonstration on how they do vehicle rescues and cut a vehicle up to little bitty pieces. Now they got to put it back together so they can sell it.
I doubt they're doing that.
That's
The
good.
Gorilla Glue, right?
Yeah, a lot of it.
We were at the range last week. All the officers qualified. Our next Monday, we've got training on the new flock cameras. I think some of you may have seen them. The black poles up at a couple of the entrances to the city. We had meetings for the upcoming Shop of the Hero program and for the parenting seminar on drug and alcohol abuse for teenagers. Obviously, Shop of the Hero program will be in December, and then our parenting program, it could be the fourth one. That'll be at the very beginning of March. We're trying to set the day up for that. Arnold Days contacted us. We sent an officer to help with traffic in Arnold Days, as did most of the other departments in the county. And I have an officer just getting back today from a 3-day seminar for MIRMA for law enforcement training. It's a requirement every year that an officer from the department go to their special training and bring back ideas to the city. So that's all I have for right now.
Great.
And
Yeah, no,
Frank, just let me say that it was a wonderful, it was just a wonderful presentation at Police
Thank
Night
you.
Out.
Thank you. It was we had a lot of people there. I was pretty proud of it. A lot of participation from the officers, a lot of new residents in town that came up to see what was going on. We actually had it was pretty neat. We had representatives from the 4 major churches in the area. Obviously,
wow.
from Spring Hill, the pastors and several members of Spirit Word Church were there. Point of Refuge Church, the pastors were there, and New Fellowship Church over on Antar Road. Pastor Dan actually lives in our town, and several members were there. And I think that's huge. That not only the police and fire and first responders are all involved, but the churches are getting involved with the community, and it's just going to make this community stronger, in my opinion.
mhm.
Great.
That's
Yeah,
a very
it
nice
was-
event.
It was a very nice event.
It
Thank you.
really was.
And Frank, you didn't even mention that your old buddy Zebu was there.
My buddy Zach, me
Yeah,
and Zach got our picture taken together. So yeah, we had a petting zoo, a farm
Oh,
animal
yeah,
petting
you
zoo.
had those little pet
Yeah.
ponies.
And then we had the balloon guy there, the kid. I don't know if you saw the lines for the kids. You get the custom balloons. Open door sanctuary was there. We had 9/11 dispatch was there. We had several resource groups, Comtree and Jefferson County Coalition on Drug Abuse was there, handing out information. We had a autism awareness group there. Pretty neat, pretty varied group.
Yep, yeah, it's very, very nice, and like I say, well attended, and thanks to Company B for supplying the food.
Yes.
Yep.
They're so good to us.
Yeah,
You know,
we ended up with some really nice, a lot of nice prizes, 4 bicycles, one family donated. One of our businesses donated a $800 battery operated lawnmower. And another
Wow.
business donated a $500 55-inch TV for a raffle, and all that money right now is right around $800 that we raised, and that money goes directly to the Shop with Your Hero program.
Hey Frank, reminds me, Shop with a Hero, is there going to be an event this year, or is this going to be the same as last year?
No, we are actually going to shop with the kids this year. That's the plan.
Okay, and then are you going to have a banquet as well?
No more. We're not going to do banquets anymore. What we're going to do is on that Saturday, one of the Saturday mornings, we're going to have the kids meet at a specific time at Spring Hill Church, and then we'll provide them with their gifts and their families with a meal.
Okay, great.
The banquet was a daunting task.
Yes,
And kind of very manpower intensive.
certainly.
So,
Okay, great. Well, thank you for everything, and great activity last night. Very
Thank
nice.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to commission reports. Do we have any commission reports to submit or discuss? Take
No,
that. Nope.
actually, the only thing, we did cancel the P&Z meeting for this month because frankly, we just couldn't get it done.
Okay.
We got a lot going on. We are doing one in November. We're working on getting our process together. Debbie always did it, and nobody knows how to do it. So we're working on getting it done, and we'll do it in November. But if you hear anything about that, I know we had to cancel it, but we're
Okay.
getting back on it.
Okay, very good. All right. Moving on to mayor's report. We'll once again in close, we'll talk more about the interviews and that, but once again, I'll just reiterate what Allison said. We had a very good, I think, interest in the city admin position, and a wide variety of respondees that we interviewed. So I think we're getting the list down to a manageable amount that we've got some very good candidates. So we'll go through that a little bit deeper and close. The other thing I want to talk about was going back to in-person meetings. Galen and I discussed this a little bit. I think we need to see how the flu season sort of develops this year for us. But I would think maybe coming in January or February, depending on if there's no outbreaks or anything like that, we at least go back to a one meeting a month in person at City Hall. I know we tried that before, and then right after that meeting, somebody came up with COVID. So it's we'll try to hopefully.
One thing, I'm sorry to interrupt. One thing that staff that Amy offered to do, Amy does the phone, the Zoom calls from City Hall. And she had said that if there's members of the public that want to attend in person, like she can let them in.
Right.
Also, once we get that screen up, it might be a little easier for people as well, if that's something we want to move towards.
What we'll have there, what Bob talked about, is it's an 11-foot wide electronic screen that'll drop down from the ceiling and then recoil back up when wanted, along with a projector, a much better projector than what we had before. So they're a paired system. So it's something we had to work that we're getting rid of because it doesn't work with Microsoft Teams, and all businesses are going to Teams now. So this will work wonderfully for us. And it will be much better. We may have to change the layout where everybody sits, as far as Frank and Bob and the rest of the admin staff, because they'll be blinded by the light coming onto the projector screen. But I think it'll work well for everybody. And once again, I think we need to see about going back into in person, at least one meeting a month to allow the public to come up there and that, So that's all I have for mayor's report right now, and then moving on to public forum. Amy, is there anything been submitted for the board as far as questions or comments by the public?
No, there has not. And to what Allison was saying, she's right. I did put that out there that the public can come in. I have my laptop set up in there so that because some people can't access Zoom at home.
Right.
So until we go back to, like you said, Rob, meeting at least one time a month, I have it set up in there for them so they can come in and do that if they need to.
Well, great. Well, thank you for that. And I think the last time we did a in-person board meeting, we tried to do it in person and Zoomed it. And that got to be a little bit of a challenge, I think. So if we do these in-person board meetings again and start having those, well, it'll just be an in-person meeting and not in person and Zoom. It just for the camera technology that we have, and Gail and I know we could do a meeting owl or something along that lines that might work.
Even that's not great.
Yeah, it's just difficult with the way the board is laid out up there, and then you have other commenters and speakers. So I think we're best if we do in-person meeting, it's in person. If we do Zoom meeting, it's Zoom, and not have a blended approach. Just makes it difficult for everybody. All right, so
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, Terry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it'd be nice to have the in-person meetings again if we can get to it. I've been kind of out of touch, been having some computer problems and stuff, but I'm glad
and I
you can hear me tonight. Last
Yeah.
time I couldn't get my audio to work.
Yeah, and
So-
I imagine you're not the only one. And as Amy Jo said too, I think there's some residents in the city that don't have some of the technology or not able to use Zoom. So I think we owe it to them to try to be present and available to them. So
But it's good to see you again, Terry.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Galen. Good to be back.
All right, moving on to item 17, closed session. I do believe we want to adjourn to close. So can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to adjourn to closed session for the purpose of closed meeting, closed record, closed vote pursuant to RSMO 610.021, 1 legal, 2 real estate, 3 personnel.
I'll second.
Mary,
Aye.
Glenn,
Yes.
Galen,
Aye.
Cindy,
Aye.
and Bob.
Aye.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining. Does everybody have the meeting invite for the closed session?
I do.
I do.
Okay. All right. Bye, Kaylin.
Bye.
Everybody later.
Caitlin,
All
Mary.
right. See you guys.
See you, Terry. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Leave. Leave. Bye. Where am I going here?
Bye-bye, guys. Sorry. Bye. I think we're the only ones left.